Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So I posted a few days ago an unboxing video from Endless Pens and all these wonderful inks that I had ordered, and I said I was going to post a swatching video. And I also said that I was going to rearrange my filming situation so I wouldn't be on a crappy little TV table anymore. Well, I didn't get around to rearranging things over the weekend, so it was either film on the crappy TV table or don't film at all. And I was feeling very guilty, so I just decided not to film. And then I decided I was being ridiculous, and nobody comes to watch these videos to look at my little TV table. They come to look at pens and inks and other wonderful things. So I decided to just get over myself and stop worrying so much and have some fun, because these videos are supposed to be fun and entertaining, so I hope you enjoy. So, enough talking, let's get down to some ink swatching. So, I have all of my lovely inks lined up here, so I guess I'm just going to start at one side and work my way around to the other. And I took everything out of their boxes, so now I'm not sure which ones they are. Yes, this says Lamy Crystal ink, but it doesn't say which one it is. I'm pretty sure this is the Benitoite. And I have a fresh and clean paper towel with me today. I work from home sometimes, and I was having a virtual meeting with my boss the other day, and I spilled some water on my bullet journal, so I grabbed a paper towel to mop up the water on my notebook, and I didn't realize that it had pink ink on it, so I turned my bullet journal pink. So it was wet and pink. But it dried, and it looks very interesting, so that's fine. Alright, so this is Lamy Crystal Benitoite. Ooh, that was a terrible eye. And I have my lovely mug from Grateful Meadows. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. That is very nice. For some reason I was thinking it was just going to be gray. And I'm not a huge fan of gray ink, but this is beautiful. This is like, I don't know, a country blue or a cornflower blue, something like that. Kind of a blue-gray. Very pretty. But I didn't get a drip out of it. It distresses me when I don't get my drip. So, oop, and now I made a mess, but that's okay. So we will set him aside to dry. And next up is his brother. And this is, ooh, the cap felt weird. Uh-oh, what's going on? Uh-oh. Well, I might have to do some surgery off camera. Let's see. Goodness gracious. It is really, I don't know, I guess it's stuck, but oh my gosh, did you see that? I let it go and it turned itself back around. Ooh, this bottle is possessed. Oh my goodness. It's screwing itself back on. That is insane. Come on, Mr. Bottle. I don't know if there's ink inside of it that dried or... Goodness gracious. I don't know. And it's kind of wobbly. Can you see it wobble? That's not good. Oof. Alright. Uh-oh. I think something very bad is going to happen here. Oh. Okay. I don't know if you could see that, but the cap is glued to an inner seal, and the seal is stuck on the bottle, but I'm pulling the cap off and it's coming unglued. Goodness, man, that was hard. Why was that so hard? All right, you, get over there. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to try to push this back down in there. No, I don't know. That is so weird. I don't know. Something happened there. I don't know what it was. But moving on, moving on. So this is, ooh, which one is this? Obsidian? Yes. This is Lamy Crystal Obsidian. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this cap. We might have to rethink things. I'll worry about him after the video. So, I mentioned before that I purchased this ink because I saw Chris Signs use it on one of her videos. And seeing an ink in use is very different from just seeing a static picture of it on a website. So, I can't say that I'm a huge fan of black. You know, I have my giant gallon-sized bottle of Heart of Darkness, which I'll probably be using for the rest of my life, but I'm perfectly happy with that. I like Heart of Darkness. So, we'll see how this black ink turns out, and maybe I need a little variety in my black inks. But I see some interesting shading coming out on this already, so we'll see how he looks when he dries. Okay, so I'm just going to set this bottle aside and figure out what's going on with him later on. I am managing to get ink everywhere, though. Okay, so who's next? Let's try this one. This is Pelican Edelstein Sapphire. Ooh, I'm looking forward to this one. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I haven't opened any of these inks yet. This is the first time I've opened the bottles. So, a surprise in every box. Alrighty. So, why am I thinking my nib isn't clean? I did clean it, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. Alright. So this is Pelican. Ooh, can I fit Edelstein in there? Edelstein Sapphire. It looks very purpley, which is perfectly okay with me. All right. Oh yes, very purple. I don't know, a lot of times I see things that are called sapphire and they look really purple, but I always think of the stones as being blue. So, I'm not sure. I love sapphires. They're my favorite color, and they're my birthstone. Alright, ooh, can you see that? We've got some interesting things going on right there. I see some purple and some pink. So we're going to let him dry and see how he turns out. And I remember a video from Adventure Denali. She was talking about the lids of the bottles and how she loved the really like hard lid and the way it sounded. And I can understand that. There's so many sensory experiences in the fountain pen hobby, and I love it. Like smelling inks. Have you ever smelled your ink? I know some of them are scented, but some of them just have the most interesting smells. Frequently Noodler's inks smell really bad. They smell really chemically. And frequently Diamine inks smell lovely. They smell delicious, like flowers. And I don't think it's intentional. I mean, they're not marketed as scented inks, but some of them just smell wonderful. Okay, so I forgot to show you this bottle, but I'm not going to do that now that the lid is off. But this is the Pelican Edelstein Topaz. And this, excuse me, this ink confused me because I thought topaz was brown, but this is more like turquoise. So I wonder if there are different shades of topaz. I mean, if there are different kinds of topaz. Topaz. Ooh, my ink is getting dirty very quickly. I might have to change it at some point. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's very nice. It's very turquoisey, but still dark. It's like a dark turquoise. Not much of a drip going on there. Oh, there we go. I feel like I dip the swab the same for all of them, and then sometimes they drip and sometimes they don't, so that's always interesting to see. Okay, so in case I didn't show the bottle before, here is the Edelstein Topaz. Alright, so who is next? Let's try this one. Aha, we have a Ferris wheel press ink. Now I have taken them out of the box. I have two of them here. And there's absolutely no labeling on this bottle other than Ferris wheel press. So I won't know what ink it is until I open it. Oof. Okay, there's a bolt on top of this thing, and I might need to get the wrench out to get this thing open, because it is on there good and tight. Goodness gracious. I'm glad the bottles are on tight, because that means less leaking during shipping, but it also means much more difficult to get into. Ooh. Well, that lid is, oh, goodness. Well, you could hear that. I wonder if this is brass. It's really heavy. Very interesting. Okay. So, ooh, and I'm just getting ink all over the place. Good heavens. Well, that's half the fun. Okay. So I'm trying to remember. I got Jelly Bean Blue, and I got Tanzanite Sky. Let me see. I'm thinking that's Jelly Bean Blue, but I'm going to swab it first, just so I don't mislabel it. Ooh, and can you see the neck of the bottle? That is pretty tiny. So if you have a bigger pen, it might be hard to get it in there. Okay, I'm thinking this is Jelly Bean Blue, because I think Tanzanite Sky is much more purple. But just to be safe, I'm going to swab the other one too before I write anything on here. Uh-oh, I'm entering the danger zone. I'm going to have two bottles of ink open at the same time. So we're going to move him over. And I'm thinking this looks a little more purple. Oh, wow, that is incredibly dark. Okay, now it's looking purple. So yes, this has to be the Tanzanite Sky. Alrighty. So, ooh, I don't want to stick my hand in the wet ink. Let me see. Can I reach over? I probably cannot. I will try. I feel like I'm playing Twister with my ink swatches. So my handwriting's going to look a little goofy, but I'm okay with that. And I think that's such an interesting name. I wonder how they came up with Tanzanite Sky. Well, I guess you could say the sky at dusk, or, whoops, or at night. It's like Tanzanite. It's that deep purpley color. It's a beautiful ink, though. Okay. So let me get his buddy over here. Oh, better put the lid back on while the getting's good. Wow, I already see the sheen coming out on this one. Woo, that is so pretty. It kind of reminds me of Blue Guitar from Troublemaker, which also reminds me that I saw somebody post on Instagram that Shikiori inks had Troublemaker inks back in stock, and my jaw hit the floor and I rushed to the Shikiori website. Not that I ever need to buy ink again. I'm talking about buying ink when I've got 55 different inks on my table here. But anyway, I rushed to the website and all of the Troublemaker inks were sold out. So curses foiled again. So this is Ferris Wheel Press. And it is Jelly Bean Blue. So pretty. Blue is still my favorite, now and forever. Of course, there are many, many inks that I like. I love purple, I love green, I like the occasional orange, I like the occasional red. But blue is my favorite. I have a bottle of the Whiteness of the Whale from Noodlers, because, you know, I've been thinking about doing some ink mixing, and I've had this bottle of ink forever, and I haven't used it, but I haven't tried writing with it. I mean, I don't have any black paper. I know black paper was really popular there for a while in the planning community, but other than writing on white paper or watering down fountain pen ink, I'm not sure what you would do with Whiteness of the Whale. Okay, this is Watermen's Inspired Blue. Oof, another tight lid. Goodness gracious. I keep saying that, but it's still true. Oof. Oh, there's that lid sound again. Ooh. That does not look like what I was expecting at all. Of course, it's hard to tell in the camera. In the camera, it looks really blue, but in person, it looks really green. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm going to write the name first. Oops, and I got way too much ink. Oh, there's a little spoiler there for you. That's what the ink looks like. Okay, so this is Watermen Inspired Blue. Very nice. I'm telling you, these Watermen inks are fabulous. So I have the blue, the Serenity Blue, which I've been putting in all of my vintage pens. And I have the green, which I put in my Curadas. Ooh, I need to do a Curadas update video because things are happening in the Curadas world. So I have Harmonious Green in the Curadas, and I have the Tender Purple, which the gentleman that I bought my vintage pens from said that purple ink would probably stain them, which made me very sad because I really wanted to use the purple ink. So I haven't used the Tender Purple in a pen yet, but I've also heard that, oh, I forget the gentleman's name, one of the nib gurus out there, Richard, what's his name? Somebody help me out here. I know you guys know who this man is, but he mixed Serenity Blue with Tender Purple and made a more safe purple to use in vintage pens. So I haven't tried that yet. Of course, I'm just dipping my toes in the ink mixing waters. So I might have to mix up some of that and try it in some of my pens. Wow. That is really interesting. That is a bright, bright blue, but I swear the bottle looks green. That is so weird. Of course, it's storming outside, and my lighting is pretty bad. I have this terrible chandelier in my dining room, which is the brightest room in my house, and it has yellow shades on all the lights, so I guess I can see that. I don't have sunlight, which is white light. All I have is this yellow filtered light from the chandelier, and it's making this turquoise ink look green, so I can see that. But then on the card here, it's looking really turquoise. So very interesting. It's just really interesting how our eyes interpret light and interpret color. Okay. Alrighty, who is next? Ooh, I think I might have to sneeze. Okay, next we have a Sailormanu ink, and this is Abbi. And again, I should have looked this up before I started, but I think Abbi is sweet potato? No? Maybe? Could be. I can't remember. I'm not sure. But I thought it was pretty. Okay, so this is Sailormanu Abbi. Ooh, well that's very nice. Ooh, my water is looking scary. Has anyone ever tried to write with their rinse water? Or paint with their rinse water? My goodness, what an interesting combination that would be. Okay, let's see what we got here. And these Manu inks are very thin and watery, kind of. Just the consistency is so interesting, and it gives them really interesting properties. We got a little bit of a drip there. All right, well that is a very interesting pinkish looking color. All right, and who do we have now? Now we have our Shikiori inks, which are so adorable and so pretty. And I pronounce them so badly. But that's okay. They don't mind. They are friendly and forgiving inks. So, I took them out of the boxes, and now I don't know what they are. Here's his box. This is Yozakura. Yozakura. So, Yozakura. Oh, shoot, I meant to write Shikiori. Shikiori. I'm seeing some similarities with our friend Abbi. Or maybe it's just this weird yellow light. Oh my goodness. It is so light. Oh, I would be fascinated to get this in a pen. Wow. A nice broad wet pen. Gosh, it looks almost transparent. So interesting. But see here in the cap, it's looking really dark and really kind of reddish purple. But then the consistency of it is so thin that, you know, it just becomes transparent when you write with it. Okay, so who is this? Let me see. This has to be, is that Mirai? Marywhodges? A nice green. Whoa, got way too much ink on there. All right, this is Sailor Shikiori. Good heavens. I am struggling tonight. Okay. Shikiori. There we go. And it is marywhodges. All right. Let's see how he looks. Oh wow, that is super, super dark. Which is the complete opposite of the ink that I just did, which was almost transparent. It's so fascinating. And he is not dripping at all, so I'm going to encourage him a little bit. Wow. Wouldn't it be fun to become an ink maker and get to play around with all of these dyes and chemicals and properties? That would be so much fun. That is super wet. I think I put way too much ink on there. But that's okay. It will sort itself out. All right. And this one... Okay, these next two are pretty blue, so I just want to make sure I've got the right one. That's that one, and this is Shimoyo. Well, I guess I should move that up where there you can see it if you'd like to. Okay, so this is Sailor. Goodness, I'm just getting ink everywhere. Shikiori. And this is Shimoyo. Ooh. Wow. He is just running all over the place. Very interesting. More of that kind of transparent quality of the first one. Very pretty. All right, and finally we have Neoi Sumer, which is kind of a purplish ink. And my fingers are just out of control. Pardon me for 1 second. I don't know where all of this ink is coming from. I think I dipped the nib too far into the bottle and it got up on the section of the glass nib. But I do have quite a cocktail of ink on my fingers. Very interesting. I'm doing a little impromptu ink mixing here. Okay, close enough. All right, So we have a card, and we have the bottle. Make sure I cleaned this nib good, because again, I think it's up on the section. I only want to do ink mixing when I want to do ink mixing. I don't want to accidentally mix anything in the bottles. That would be a tragedy. Okay, so this one is Sailor Shikiori, and it is Neoi Sumer. Going to encourage him a little bit, because the drip is the best part, you know. Okay. Okay, my camera pooped out on me, because that's what it does sometimes. And I think it times out after so long, but it just doesn't understand the importance and lengthiness of these procedures. So I'm just trying to line these up a little bit better. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Ooh dear, I just stuck my finger in somebody. Okay, so these are all of our inks. Make sure you can see everybody okay. So in case you can't read them, I'm just going to read over them quickly. This is Ferris Wheel Press Jelly Bean Blue. Oh, well, maybe I should hold them up closer. You know what? This light is really bad, so I think I'm going to wait until the sun comes up and go through the inks again so we can see them with some natural light, because this yellow light from the chandelier is just making everything look weird. And the colors are beautiful, so I would like you to be able to see the colors. So, anyway, I will be back. The cards will be dry, and the sun will be shining. So I will see you soon. Alright, so here we are in the light of day, and hopefully this sunlight is a little bit better than that terrible yellow light that I had last night. So I will just bring these up a little bit closer to the camera. This is Ferris Wheel Press Jelly Bean Blue, and you can see that has some lovely red sheen to it. Next is the Sailor Shikiori Shimoyo. And that did end up looking very gray, and it does have some red sheen around the heavily saturated area. Then we have Sailor Shikiori Yozakura, and this was that really light, kind of transparent pink. Very interesting color. I don't see any sheen on this one, but again, I would be very interested to see this in a pen. And then we have Sailor Shikiori Miruai. And this didn't end up with as much sheen as I thought it was going to. As it was drying last night, it seemed like it was going to be a heavy sheener. So it does have a little bit, but not too much. But it's a nice dark green. And then we have Sailor Shikiori Neoi Sumer. And this one does have quite a bit of sheen to it. It's a very pretty blue. And it does have some interesting shading in it too. I see some hints of pink in there. And then Watermen Inspired Blue. A really light turquoise. And I do see some hints of red sheen on it. And then we have Ferris Wheel Press Tanzanite Sky. That lovely dark purple with some kind of reddish orange sheen. Let's see, can you guys see that? Light is always the trickiest part of these videos. Then we have Lamy Crystal Benitoite. And this is a beautiful dark gray. Actually, kind of in the same ballpark as the Shimoyo. Oh, I just love comparing cars. So much fun. Okay, and then we have Lamy Crystal Obsidian, and this is black, but I don't know if you can see it, but it does have some sheen to it. It's hard to describe. The sheen looks kind of brownish, so it's like a really, really dark gray. It might even look like a hint of green to it, and then that kind of brownish sheen. Can you guys see that? A little bit. Very interesting. All right, and then we have Pelican Edelstein Topaz. This is a brighter turquoise than the inspired blue. And I think this is a really pretty color, and it does have that nice red sheen. But hey, while I've got the cards here, let's compare them side by side. So much fun. So pretty. All right, and then we have Pelican Edelstein Sapphire. And that has a little bit of sheen. That's a very nice blue. And hey, gosh, it's interesting how so many of these colors compare with each other. I think this Neoi Sumer has more shade and kind of a more orangey, not shade, sheen, a more orangey looking sheen than the Sapphire. But both very pretty. And finally we have Abbi, and this is a very interesting, excuse me, there's my lunch. This has a very interesting magenta color to it, but it does have a lot of sheen, and it's kind of a greenish sheen. And this really reminds me of Grenade. And, you know, while we're talking about ink here. Okay, so here's Grenade. And they both have that kind of greenish sheen to them, but Grenade is definitely redder. I was thinking that Grenade was looking really pink the other day, but now next to this pink ink, it looks very red. So very interesting. All right, well those are all of our lovely new inks in the light of day. And I'm sure I will have more for you to swatch soon. Actually, I do have my Birmingham inks that I need to swatch. Oh, excuse me. Goodness, just so many interesting things happening today. But I do have my Birmingham inks to swatch. There was a little mix-up with my order, so I'm getting another bottle. So once all that's straightened out, I will certainly swatch those inks. But I'm so excited that Birmingham is selling inks again. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.